we want to go with this episode. Georgia versus Ole Miss. I'll start this one off by saying I don't believe it's just all on Carson Beck being, hot ass. I believe it has a lot to do with the fact that you don't have a Lad McConkey, you don't have a Brock Bowers, and those are two of the best rookie weapons in the NFL right now. I don't think it was spoken on enough about how you did not do your due diligence in terms of replacing that. And I think Georgia will replace it. They have the money and the requisite, funds to do, to do so. The issue is becoming that Georgia has not produced receivers at really any point. Like you have Ladd and you have George Pickens, but okay, George Pickens didn't really play a whole lot of football there, Georgia. I don't know if anybody really was aware. He didn't really play a whole lot. Lad McConkey was one of those guys that it just so happened to work out. Historically, top receivers don't go to Georgia and have fruitful careers. And I think that's really what is killing you because you also don't have great quarterback play either. Because who's the last quarterback at Georgia that you were like, oh, I would want to go play for him?
That would be Matthew Stafford, and that was in 2009 when Obama was in office.
Brother, man, I don't think y'all understand, bro. Like, we was coming off a recession the last time Georgia had a quarterback that was worth a damn. Like, that's the last time we've seen a Georgia quarterback worth anything. Their defense also isn't nearly the dominant unit as we've seen in years past. And not that it's bad, it's just for that defense to progress and for you not to get better on offense, you don't have any saving grace. There is not a single player on that team right now that can make a play that can shift, that can tilt the game. Carson Beck just isn't the quarterback we thought he was, but it also comes down to the fact that I believe you have running backs, play a receiver. I think you got a bunch of guys that are a bunch of jets. You have a bunch of Nico Hardmans out there, a bunch of guys that can take a jet sweep and go run around the corner, but you don't have a guy that can run around. You don't have a guy that can win one-on-one against the better DBs. And credit to Ole Miss and credit to Lane Kiffin because Lane Kiffin, we all know him as an offensive mind, an offensive juggernaut. But he's built this team with a defense, and a defense that is the best in the SEC. I think if I'm talking about South Carolina, our defense is second only to Ole Miss. There ain't nobody else's defense, to me, deserves that type of credit in order to be put ahead of us. But Ole Miss's unit, for sure, because every time I've seen Ole Miss, they have gotten they typically get great play out of that unit, and they got dominant play out of that unit against Georgia. That's pretty much it for me. I didn't have a whole lot to say about them, but Georgia they got some work to do in recruiting. They had a lot of work they got to do, man, because right now this ain't it.
And they need an offensive coordinator as well. I've been trying to tell you, we told us, South Carolina fans, try to tell you about Mike Bobo from the start. We weren't trying to be no haters, but that's the best. What you see right now is the best you're going to get, especially with the weapons. It's kind of disappointing, too, because, we thought Georgia would at least, have some top guy in the receiver room, to help Carson Beck out. But, personally, I don't think Carson Beck is a good quarterback. At first, I had him at top at the beginning of the season, and I had him as he's a game manager. Like, that's what he's going to be. That's what he's going to be when he goes to NFL, if he makes it to NFL. I don't know. Carson Beck is that type of quarterback. You just got to surround him with the Avengers of offensive weapons. Like he's literally he is a Brock Purdy. That's it. He has the same skill set as Brock Purdy. That's what Carson Beck is. That's a new trend now, bro. It's gonna be a new trend on lock, bro. The Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy tier quarterback. Carson Beck is one of them. You know what I'm saying? If he has multiple INTs, multiple turnovers, Georgia's gonna lose the game every time.
Yeah, they're just not good enough. They're not good enough on defense to make up for what they're not producing on offense right now. And this is one of those things that this is very surprising because I've donned the Kirby Smart era of college football. What I'll never do again. Here's what I'm having to recognize and realize: this NIL transfer portal era is nobody's era. It is nobody's. It belongs to no one. It's the money. It's the money ball era because I think the talent's even not all over the place. I don't believe that there is one team that we can look at and say this is the dominant team of college football. The only team that has The only team that has the talent that I believe should like warrant people like really believing in it, on a week in week out basis is Ohio State. I go talk about Emeka Ibuka, Jeremiah Smith, Travion Henderson, who's the and Quinshon Judkins. That as an offensive unit is the best collection of talent in college football. But even they don't look like they don't look like a dominant team week in week out.
Like a $20 million team. They spent $20 million for that team. $20 million.
Right. I mean, we can kind of just I had topics, but we can kind of just keep it going here. You start looking at who like all the top teams. Like I look at, for example, I look at Miami. Like Miami's not a well built team, and I've been saying this for a while that that at least they were on borrowed time because of how they're playing and how they're winning some of these games. They're not winning it with their execution. They're not winning it. They're not dominating some of these wins. They are winning it off right now off the fact that you have a quarterback that's probably top 2, top 3 in college football right now. He's a Heisman candidate, likely to win it at the rate he's winning right now. Or he's likely to finish in New York. He'll be at the ceremony at the end of the year. You have an offense that's killing, but you have a defense that's giving up 30 points to Duke. You have a defense that's struggling against Georgia Tech. You have a defensive unit that has not been anywhere close to the top half of college football at all. So how can I truly take you serious as a contending team? These are the contenders currently in college football. We have 3 lost teams right now that I think can go on the road and beat some of your top 10 teams. That's where college football is at this year. It's in a very odd space.
I hate that you said that at the end. I'm gonna wait to I'm gonna wait till the end of November to talk on that. You know what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna wait. I ain't gonna break. I've been trying to stay away from that conversation with the 3 loss stuff, but I'm gonna stay away from that. But just fast, you're right, bro. With Cam Board, bro. It's like he should have just went to Ohio State. If he went to Ohio State, bro, you know how crazy that would have went. He for sure would be a Heisman candidate. Ohio State for sure would be undefeated right now. But I gotta say the most dominant team right now gotta be Oregon, bro. I think it's Oregon. Phil Knight dropped the bag. Phil Knight said, bro, before I go, I want to see this team, you know what I'm saying, win a ring. I feel like they are the best chance of doing it, man, because they dropped the bag too and they got Nike money. So I mean, hey. Give me Oregon. That's my new prediction. Give me Oregon winning it all. And,
I have to agree. They got 2 receivers that I really like, Taz Johnson and Evan Stewart. I want these guys to be Carolina Panthers if possible. Like you said, yeah, Oregon right now would be the most dominant team we got